Every betrayal made you stronger. They threw you into hell, thinking you would break. They whispered lies behind your back, smiled to your face, and waited for the moment you would finally collapse under the weight of it all. They thought betrayal would end you. They thought pain would silence you. They thought loss would make you small. But look at you. You are still standing, and not just standing, breathing, learning, becoming. Every scar they gave you became a symbol. Every betrayal became a lesson. Every wound became a weapon. They never saw that coming. There was a time when you trusted deeply. You believed in promises spoken softly, in hands that felt warm, in words that sounded real. You gave your loyalty without armor, your heart without conditions, your effort without counting the cost. You believed that honesty would be returned with honesty, that loyalty would be met with loyalty, that love, respect, and truth would be protected. That was their first mistake. They thought your openness was weakness. They thought your kindness was something to exploit. They thought your silence meant you would accept anything. So they took, they used, they betrayed. And when it happened, when the mask slipped, when the truth cut through your chest, you felt it, didn't you? That moment where the world goes quiet, where your heart drops, where your body understands the truth before your mind can explain it. You asked yourself the questions everyone asks in that moment. Why me? What did I do wrong? Was I not enough? They expected you to drown in those questions. They expected you to stay there, stuck, doubting yourself, replaying every conversation, blaming your own heart for someone else's dishonesty. They expected you to disappear, but you didn't. At first, surviving felt like crawling through broken glass. Every memory burned, every reminder reopened the wound. Sleep became shallow, trust became dangerous. The world felt sharper, colder, less forgiving. And yet, something changed, slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. Pain started teaching you things comfort never could. You learned how to sit alone with your thoughts without running from them. You learned how to feel the ache without letting it define you. You learned how to hear your own voice again, the one that had been drowned out by trying to please, trying to belong, trying to be enough for people who were never enough for you. You adapted. Like steel forged in fire, you didn't just endure the heat, you changed because of it. You became more aware, more observant, more selective. You stopped giving access to people who only wanted advantage. You stopped explaining yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. You stopped begging for honesty from those addicted to deception. And somewhere in that darkness, you discovered a truth that shook the foundation of who you were. You didn't break, you evolved. They thought the damage they caused would weaken you forever. They assumed you would always carry the weight of their actions like a chain around your neck. They assumed the version of you they hurt would be the version that stayed. But they never saw what was happening when no one was watching. While they were busy moving on without accountability, you were rebuilding from the inside out. While they distracted themselves, you faced yourself. While they avoided reflection, you embraced transformation. Pain became your teacher. Silence became your sanctuary. Loneliness became a mirror. You started noticing patterns, red flags you once ignored, boundaries you once lacked, instincts you once doubted. You learned that not everyone deserves the same version of you. You learned that trust is earned, not given. You learned that protecting your peace is not selfish, it is survival. And with every lesson, you grew stronger, not louder, not crueler, stronger. That's when the shift happened. They felt it before they understood it. They noticed your energy was different. You no longer chased explanations. You no longer sought closure from people who closed the door themselves. You no longer reacted the way you used to. Your silence changed. It wasn't empty anymore. It was powerful. They wondered why their absence didn't destroy you, why their words no longer reached you, why the control they once had slipped through their fingers like smoke. Did they really think you would stay broken forever? Did they really believe betrayal was the end of your story? No, it was the beginning. You began to walk differently, not with arrogance, but with certainty. Your eyes held clarity, your voice held weight, your presence no longer asked for permission. You stopped explaining your growth to people committed to your past. You stopped shrinking to keep others comfortable. You stopped sacrificing yourself on the altar of someone else's convenience. And that terrified them, because they remembered the version of you that doubted, the version of you that waited, the version of you that gave second, third, and fourth chances. But that version doesn't live here anymore. This version stands in truth. This version knows their worth. This version understands that betrayal didn't ruin them, it refined them. Every betrayal stripped something away: illusions, attachments, false identities, and what remained was raw, real, and unshakable. You learned that peace is louder than revenge, that indifference is stronger than anger, that healing is the ultimate power move. You don't need to prove anything anymore. Not to them, not to anyone. Your growth speaks for itself. While they replay the same cycles, you've moved on to higher ground. While they justify their actions, you've accepted reality. While they remain stuck in who they've always been, you've become someone new. And here's the truth they never wanted to face. You are no longer reachable by the version of them that betrayed you. There were nights when you almost went back to old habits, back to familiar pain, back to the comfort of what hurt but felt known. But you didn't. You chose the harder path, the lonely path, the path of self-respect. You chose growth over familiarity, truth over comfort, strength over approval. And every time you chose yourself, something inside you stood taller. You stopped seeking revenge because you realized something deeper. You already won. Your peace is the crown they will never touch. Your clarity is the fire they cannot control. Your resilience is the storm they cannot stop. Look at you now. You don't flinch at reminders anymore. You don't shake when their name is mentioned. You don't feel the urge to explain your side to people who already chose theirs. You've mastered the art of moving forward without bitterness. You understand that not everyone who walks into your life is meant to stay. Some are lessons. Some are warnings. Some are mirrors showing you what you will no longer tolerate. And instead of resenting them, you thank the experience for sharpening you, for awakening you, for pushing you toward the life you were meant to build. They may never apologize. They may never understand what they lost. They may never admit the damage they caused, and that's okay, because your healing does not require their awareness. Your freedom does not depend on their regret. Your strength does not need their acknowledgement. You no longer measure your worth through someone else's behavior. You know who you are. This is the moment where you stop carrying the story of betrayal as a wound and start carrying it as proof. Proof that you survived. Proof that you adapted. Proof that you rose. You are not defined by what they did to you. You are defined by what you became because of it. And what you became is powerful. So stand in that power. Walk forward knowing that every betrayal carved wisdom into your soul. Every loss cleared space for something greater. Every ending redirected you toward yourself. They thought they broke you. They didn't. They built you. And now you are unstoppable.